Cyborgs, mutants, muscle cars, and ape men? When the Italians want to rip off a genre, they go all in, with a splash of insane hilarity. 2019, After the Fall of New York, is a crazy, mad, good time. Starring George Eastman and Michael Sopkiw. Michael Sopkiw. Oh, hell. Cue the music. And in 3, 2, 1, I already forgot it.
You will be soon as big as a giant, or like all the others, dead.
You think I imagined all of it, don't you? You think I'm insane?
That's feng shui.
A match made in a bathroom, just floating into the void. Did you just say, let's do it?
Let's do it. Hey, Mick.
Stallone and me.
Hey, Mick. Let's do it.
I've got more notes for this movie than I have ever taken notes before. And that's leaving out the last 30 minutes.
I had questions about the questions that I'm questioning.
Oh, my God. Can you hear my dog?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to put him down.
All right.
I've been avoiding it. I just got an old 2x4 out back.
And, you know, we mentioned that animals being harmed in movies.
Yes. The Humane Society is going to have a big problem with this one.
They might need to be called because
all rats were harmed.
Rats are people too.
Yeah, exactly. I was noticing that those like kind of community service, like trash picker uppers that they had, you know, a lot of them were retractable, like one of the, like a baton type of thing, you know?
Okay.
But there for sure were several dead rats by the end of that scene.
I wrote down here in my notes that not only did they harm every rat, I think they had an emergency rat CPR crew that came in.
For sure.
And revived these rats that were not quite dead just so they could kill them again.
Right. Like a 9-volt battery and some those little alligator clips. That whole thing was pretty rough. A lot of the times there's a hand picking up a live rat and then it cuts to that same person just kind of chewing on something. It was kind of grossing me out.
But man, this movie...
It's my favorite movie.
I wrote down, it suffers from dissociative identity disorder.
It got off to kind of a strong start, I thought, and then immediately... I mean, yeah, I looked down and it was like halfway through and I was like, I have no idea what they're doing or where they're going or...
No, it tried to be everything.
It was several different. When George Eastman walked out, I was like, oh, okay. Now it's going to be Planet of the Apes, too?
There was some interesting ape makeup.
Yes, to say the very least.
On this next viewing while we're watching this, I'm going to have to make sure, because I saw near the end that George Eastman didn't have fur on one of his hands. He was like mega furred on his left hand, but no fur on his right.
I think he was mad. He did not look happy wearing that makeup. All right, are we going to agree on Sopkiw?
Yeah, Sopkiw.
Because I've heard it. I feel like we are not hitting some like passive, like there's like a V at the end, maybe?
Yeah. A W that is pronounced as a V. Yeah.
Silent W. Yeah. I don't know. So I'm not going to try to do that. It's just going to be Sopki as far as I'm concerned.
I dig that. But George Eastman, he was wearing makeup?
I mean, it wasn't so much the makeup that I had a problem with. It was the blouse that he was wearing. And literally it looked like a plastic sword from like Casa Bonita or something.
The action scenes in this movie, the action fighting scenes, the acrobatics in said scenes.
I'm pretty sure our main character did a front flip in the air. Granted, he probably was helped with one of those little pommel horse ramp type things, but I think he did it.
Did you?
I saw his face. He's a great actor.
I have so much to say about this movie. It's probably going to be my favorite Italian film from now on until the next one we watch, right?
Once I looked this up on IMDb and YouTube, God, it seems like they're endless, and they all have, they've got a good 3 or 4 people that are from this same, kind of Italian, stable of actors. Then they, throw in one American just to make it, legit. But,
is Sopke American?
No. Oh. He's Italian, isn't he?
He's Italian.
He was a model.
Oh.
And...
Well,
turned movie actor, and you can't tell.
Oh, yeah. He's from Connecticut.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Literally every character in this movie, every actor is from a different country. There's French people. There's whatever George Eastman is.
There's little people.
Oh, my goodness.
There's little people named Shorty, right?
Oh, no. When I saw a little person, I was like, well played, Tim. Well played. You've really outdone I'm really getting into what really gets you going. You know what I'm saying?
And what's funny is, and I chose this is another blind pick that neither of us had seen this movie.
Yes. Based on the trailer, probably.
Exactly. You wanted to do a Mad Max Italian film, and this is kind of a Mad Max ripoff. It's kind of Escape from New York ripoff.
Yeah.
It's kind of a Logan's Run ripoff.
Sure.
It doesn't know what it is.
I mean, I should say this had a huge influence on Children of Men, of all things.
Mm-hmm.
The movie, I think, probably not the book that it's based on, but definitely the movie. We'll talk about it when we get to a certain scene later on. It's exactly like Children of Men.
I laughed so much during this film.
I laughed out loud in the credits at the very beginning.
Oh, God.
Let's get into this. Let's say who we are I can't wait.
All right. Well, hey, welcome to the Moratorium.
Yes.
I'm Tim Kornman, and with me as always here in Italy is Jason Walker.
Hi, Tim.
Ciao.
Yep, we're just sitting. Ciao. Wait, that means goodbye, doesn't it?
Does it?
Brother.
What means hello?
Okay.
Is it not like aloha? We can't just say ciao whenever we want.
You can say whatever you.
Okay.
We should also say hello in French. This is a French-Italian co-production. Did you realize that? Yeah, who would have thought the Rat Eater King had more credits than anyone else in the entire movie?
What was that? Hal
Yamanuchi.
Yamanuchi.
A Asian Italian co-production, he looks like. Yeah, the movie, though. What's the name of the movie again?
2019, After the Fall of New York.
Yes, 2019, After the Fall of New York.
This is a futuristic movie about our near distant past.
Yes. Futuristic in the sense that there's going to be a lot of old cars from the past decade that are just junked out. And I love a movie that will just take the time to wait around in a sewer because that segment took forever and
my God.
Looked like it was in an actual sewer. So,
oh yeah, and I think did they dump something on them, something hot, steamy? They just dumped on them.
Michael Sopke looked like he had a whole tub of cappuccino dumped on him.
I hope that was cappuccino.
I hope it was brown, whatever it was, and liquidy. So take your however you want to.
One of the guards, he says, they're in the sewer. They're not going to last long down there. I'm like, he knows.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I had Taco Bell last night. So I know what they're getting into.
Yep. hey, you ever think that the sewage coming down might be your own? That's just what they're just having that conversation. The cover for this on IMDb, like the poster art, is amazing. It also looks like a Sega Master System game cover, kind of, you know?
I want to play this game.
Yes, for sure.
I would play the hell out of this
It looks like a Phantasy Star or something. That gun is ridiculous. He actually has that gun later on in the movie, which I hate it when they show you a gun in the art and then you never see it, you know? But it is ridiculous. It looks like a M16 with like a tennis ball tube painted aluminum stuck to the top of it. And that's the part that actually shoots, I think.
Because they had a bunch of like crossbows that were actually like rifles, but made futuristic kind of sci-fi sounds.
The sounds were like, well, that's from that movie, and that one's from another movie. It looks like they just had fake crossbows and like put Roman candles in them or something.
Yeah.
Are we even going to like pretend that this has a plot? Because I do have a few things written down, but ultimately it doesn't really matter.
The plot, like you said, is just of
it's
Children of
Men. The plot
of
Children of Men. Yeah.
So this is 2019 after the fall of New York. So this is all of humanity. They're all mutants from like a Fallout.
Maybe.
They're all rendered sterile.
Yes. They say that oh my God, I can't even find it. The Urax, what is it's the European Asian. Oh man, I don't even know. And it's probably really racist too. So it's probably okay that I'm not looking it up. But, oh man, I've got that beautiful trumpet slash synthesizer music going. The music, just right off the bat, this guy, the black guy at the beginning playing the trumpet, he was in Warriors of the Wasteland also. And he was in Escape from the Bronx, the other Italian Mad Max ripoff, which there are several of them. But I thought it was funny. I saw him playing that, and then I heard the music. I was like, in real life, he's just going, and just, you know, there is nothing coming out of that trumpet, but it's like Tangerine Dream on the soundtrack.
Well, I mean, all of the voices are dubbed. I mean, why not just dub in some horn work while you're at it? Because the fingers are not matching any of the chords.
No, it's probably cheaper that way. I do love the model of the ruins of New York.
But then you've got like a spaceship type shuttlecraft coming through.
They're showing you a little model of the Statue of Liberty. So, okay, we probably should say we're calling this a Mad Max ripoff, but let's just see. I want to look at the years here. So the first, of course, like kind of apocalypse movie like this is Mad Max, right?
Sure.
It was in 1979.
Right.
This movie came out in 1983.
1983.
Escape from New York is 1981.
Okay.
And Road Warrior is also 1981. So I didn't dig too deep because I love Mad Max and Escape from New York equally. But, you know, if one was going to rip off the other one, I think John Carpenter kind of ripped off Mad Max. But I mean, they're not really that. Plots and stuff like that aren't similar. It's just the fact that they're kind of, you know, apocalypse and there's like gadgets and, you know.
Made up cars with so much armor on these cars, but then you've got the bad guys, the Urax, are riding horses mostly.
Yes, that's their preferred mode of transportation. I mean, in an apocalypse, what would you want? A V8 Interceptor or like a good horse? Because there's pros and cons for both of them.
Right.
It's weird seeing a movie where it is literally like, you know, the Statue of Liberty is like in ruins behind you, but the highways are still pretty good, you know, and not overgrown and, you know, but eventually, you know, that car's not going to do, you're going to want a horse if it's not mutated.
Really? What is the Urax? What is their deal? Are they just trying to preserve mankind by killing off the mutants, or?
Yeah, I mean, the opening narration, whoever dubs George Eastman in all of these movies is the one that is narrating the movie. Yeah, he says that, I mean, he almost makes the Uraks. I mean, they're all in all these movies. They're kind of stand-ins for like Nazis, you know, wouldn't you say? I mean, and it's an Italian movie, so yeah, well, we don't need to get into all that, but
well, the narrator for the movie, Narrator, is Nando Gazzolo. Hey, it's a man's name.
Oh my God. Cut that from the podcast, and I'm writing that down right now.
Nando Gazzolo.
I've been wanting to create a new online. Wow. Okay, and our main character is called Parsifal.
Parsifal. You're right. Parsifal. I thought it was Percival. Okay, right.
Yeah. It's supposed to be kind of, Arthurian or whatever.
Okay.
But in that case, I mean, his name's Parsifal, but he looks like Axl Rose. And again, I'm probably going to say the Italian, quote unquote, this and the Italian that.
I have like 8 of those written down.
I know. We're not trying to be like racist or anything. It's just easier that way.
I'm not trying to. It's just coming off like that.
Yeah. It's fine, everybody. But no, I did almost spit my coffee out when it said music by Oliver Onions. That one blindsided me. I was taking a full drink of coffee and I was like, ugh, just had to choke it down. Oliver Onions. What is that even a reference to?
I love it. Whatever it is. At the beginning of this movie, though, when you have the Uraks showing up on the horses and you've also got guys on foot, and they're kind of like squaring off in the center of this courtyard. And I thought they were battling each other.
Exactly. Well, the narrator or narrator tells us that those guys, the guys in jean jackets and, like Motley Crue tour shirts and stuff like that, those are mercenaries that the Uraks have paid to commit this like genocide or whatever.
Just to kill the
mutant
mutants.
Genocide. Right. The mutants.
These are just the ones that are mostly affected by the fallout.
Yes. Which by that you mean they get one prosthetic apiece. It's usually on their face. The girls being the best, and the old man had a pretty silly one. Girls like got a pussy eye.
And they set that old man on fire. There's flamethrowers. They're just breaking glass and just trashing everything.
How much fun is the guy with the flamethrower having? Like, there must have been a talk amongst the mercenaries, like, I call flamethrower, and they're like, you had the flamethrower last time. And he's like, nuh-uh. So, but that did look like fun.
There is so much action in this film, but how many bodies being thrown over railings? We got number one there. The one guy got a freaking spiked bat of some sort in his throat. Yes. And dove off the railing. There's one here in just a little bit that gets flown into a quarry. That I know exactly
which one you mean. And both the actors looked down like, huh? Like he just turned into a mannequin and fell like 300 feet. That made me laugh because he like punched him. One scene he's punching him, and the next it's just even in the cheapest productions, how can they get those fake bodies to not bend up their legs and look completely fake? I mean, it seems like there's a cheap way that this can be done so that it's not so obvious. You're
saying it's cheaper to throw a real actor off of a side of a quarry?
Life's cheap in Italy in the late 70s, early 80s, especially for rats.
So immediately we go from this battle where they're trying to do this genocide for all mutants, and now we are definitely in Mad Max.
Yes. It made me nostalgic for playing like Twisted Metal, and I even like looked up to see if I still had like the ROM for Twisted Metal. I might be playing that later. But yeah, it's like a demolition derby.
Oh yeah.
But again, like very different like costumes, and like one guy looks like a full-on knight. Our main character has a helmet. He has a chainmail jacket, which looks really cool until he like kind of turns around, and then the sleeves are like so blousy, you know, like it looks like a leather and chainmail jacket, which is badass. But then you get his profile and it's like, oh man, those sleeves are so big.
And I think he has like chainmail gloves on too.
He does, and yet gets stabbed repeatedly, you know, in the back and the front. There's a crotch stab earlier that I like involuntarily clenched up when it happened. I was like, ooh, that did not look good.
But this demolition derby, this looks like fun.
It does look like fun. Yep, it sure does.
This is where immediately I was like, I want to play this as a video game.
Yep, crowds having a good time.
Why are they doing this in the first place? Is it some sort of battle? Is it
The only reference I have for this, there it was, the guy in the jumpsuit just like fell off of that quarry, and then both of them looked, the bad guy and our guy looked at each other and did like a comical take, like, huh? Did that just happen? No, it was funny. But all of these movies, you know, feature some type of, you know, what else are you going to do? There's no TV. There's no internet. Mm-hmm. Why not have a duel to the death?
All right.
But it's like a triathlon where they have to do demolition derby. And then they have to get out and kind of beat up on each other. Looks like a good time.
So they're just crashing their cars into each other until they get to the top of the quarry where Michael Sopke's car gets flipped over, and then they just push it off the side of the hill into this quarry. It explodes.
Yeah, immediately blows up.
And then he pops up like, aha, I wasn't in the car.
Like, we were looking at the car the whole time, dude. You're in the car.
He starts doing these acrobatics across the hood of the car.
Yep.
Unnecessary acrobatics.
It's more like ballet fighting or something. It's like Gymkhana.
So much footwork in this battle and meat slaps and...
Yep. And they don't have wax, so it's not like they can do Dukes of Hazzard and like slide across the top. It's all rusted and stuff. So this clown thing is what I'm going to see when I close my eyes tonight to go to sleep.
I don't understand.
Why? I get it that Italy has a gifted like mime community and stuff, but none of the rest of the world likes it. You know?
So his prize for winning this battle, for killing these guys,
is like some coasters or something.
They give him a CD that he puts in.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess he sees that, is she an android? She's like Julie Strain, Italian Julie Strain.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's like his prize for winning this battle.
Mm-hmm.
That this clown projects through a little TV.
It's a purely Italian thing. The reason that we get all those disturbing doll type things.
Well, yeah, she's acting like she's animatronic.
Yeah, she's got an eyeball on her hat.
Huge. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Also, like the mayor, I'm going to call that guy the mayor, and he has the craziest like cartoon dog dubbed voice.
His makeup is making me laugh too.
Yes.
So Michael Sopke, what are we calling him? What is his name? Percival.
Yeah,
Percy. We'll just call him Percy.
Perfect.
So Percy gets his woman, Italian Julie Strain, on a motorcycle, and they're driving across the desert. I assume they're just going to go have sex somewhere in some rocky crag, but they pass by some other mutants, which I thought were mutants.
Yeah.
But are they androids? I'm not sure.
Yeah, she has some insight on that. They drive past doing about 60 miles an hour. They're about 40 feet away from him, but suddenly she's just like, those were cyborgs.
Yes.
You see some, like if you took all the stuff out of a flashlight and like glued it to a fake arm, that's basically what it looked like.
There were 3 AA batteries.
Yep, I saw them.
Implanted in that arm.
I saw them. All 3 of them were a different brand too, I believe. It's like, what do we got in the hammer drawer? Let's just hot glue that to somebody. Did he get the trike also from the weird animatronic thing?
I assume. Or maybe he had that before. I like the trike.
I would drive that around town.
So I didn't necessarily understand any of this real plot point, or if it even is a plot point. We're just setting up our guy as he tells Italian Julie Strain to take a horse and just go off on your own?
I guess.
He says the coins that he is given is get out of jail free pass.
Oh, I must have glossed right over that.
So he kills 3 mutants and throws those coins down and says, it is legal for me to take whatever I want from these guys.
Right.
And she's like, can I? And he's like, yeah, have at it. She grabs a horse and takes off. That's it.
I don't think our hero is that into girls, if you know what I mean. I think he was like, the whole time she was holding on to him on the motorcycle, he was like, ew.
So our guy gets shot by this Galaga ray that comes out of this guy's gun.
Yes. They're straight up stolen Barbarella guns. They have like,
yes,
it's like a wooden handle or a wooden stock attached to like a piece from a like cappuccino maker or like a coffee grinder or something.
And it actually says that in the trivia.
Really?
It says the weapons used by the white-suited guards of the American government look exactly like the weapon that Jane Fonda used in Barbarella, 1968.
Now hold on. You said the Americans. These guys are American?
It says quote unquote American government. So yeah, this is supposed to be the president that they take him off to the distant planet of Alaska that's frozen over because they're in a spaceship now.
So if you figure they're in Italy, the trip from Italy to Alaska, I feel like that's going to take a while.
Yeah. Well,
I guess they're in kind of a UFO type thing. But that's what I was noticing earlier. I was like, well, that's sort of, this next scene is just ripped straight from Escape from New York,
Yeah, I mean, so he's just basically the president is giving him. Does he say that he has they're going to inject him with a virus or something like that?
Maybe.
There was a plot point, something like that. You're going to help us so you can live.
Yeah.
But basically the president knows that there is a woman who is
able to
rumored to be fertile.
Well, I mean, how do they know that? And why didn't they just, whoever was there was like, well, because it seems like they've got all the weapons and why do they need this dude?
I don't know.
This could have been handled another way.
Right.
But yeah, so he has he basically has the scene with Lee Van Cleef in Escape from New York where this guy seems like he's got an upset tummy or something. I think he says something later on about something's wrong with him. Like he's
right. Yeah. I think he just kind of kills over at the end. I mean, when he comes back at the end of the film, he looks even worse.
Yeah.
I wondered, they had to have used just leftover props from so many other better movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the things look really cool.
Because it looks futuristic and post-apocalyptic. And now it looks like we're in a 60s model sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
That is just cardboard walls.
Wherever they're at, where he's having this talk with this guy, that actually looks pretty cool. I like the simplicity of because it's not like the scene in Escape from New York looked that great either. Mm-hmm, and that bracelet that they give him and all that stuff. It's pretty standard.
I'll give you that. So, but our main character, Percy gets 2 people assigned to him.
Right.
One in which I guess is...
Well, one of the guys...
It's Italian Stephen Lang.
He looks like super Richard Mulligan, kind of. Like if Richard Mulligan was in The Wasteland.
Yes. Oh, you nailed it. Yeah.
He's got an eye patch, which is pretty cool. So I guess they didn't want to cover up our guy's face since he's a model. So they gave the eye patch to the other guy. And then the other character who is a teacher, I think. And I think knows where that woman is. Again, I've kind of... Some of the plot points I just completely glossed over because, I get it. We're in Mad Max. Okay, now it's Children of Men. Now, I think it's funny after they talk to that black guy right before they leave. He had a couple of funny lines in that. I can't remember exactly, but... It
was just like, you want to go over there? You're going to die.
Exactly. Fucking idiots. Basically what he says.
Yeah, and he's still playing the trumpet when they come up on him and ask him for directions.
Like, how are you making those Casio noises come out of your, like, 100-year-old trumpet? I'm looking through my notes. The apocalypse was 20 years ago. So in 20 years, we've gone to this, you know?
Okay.
I mean, I guess if the bombs blew all the buildings up, it just seems like 20 years is too short of a time for things to look this bad.
Hold my beer. Right.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so they get their quest, these three guys, you know, and they literally get on a motorcycle, smash cut to they're in a sewer all of a sudden. I mean, it happens it's very jarring the way that happens. Like, okay, so they drove there. Did they just drive? They drove like 5 feet away and then just like took a manhole cover off. And
well, our black trumpeter, he told them to get there, you're going to have to go through the sewer.
Okay.
They don't stop for provisions or anything. They're just like, all right, let's go. There's pipes that are coming in through the wall, just leaking sewage in.
Oh,
they purposefully put like chunks of stuff.
Yeah, like toilet paper and shit. Like that's why I was like, oh, well, this is definitely a sewer. I hope this isn't a sewer, but it looks like it. I saw that some of it's filmed in America, and I want to say that this first scene where they're fighting in the junkyard with like...
Oh, you're talking about the bus graveyard?
Yes. I think that is actually in New York. I could be wrong, but I think I read that somewhere. There's like mutant Harry Belafonte. I mean, I don't want to go... And I don't want to say Italian everything, but...
I love this parkour bus graveyard.
They're basically playing If the Ground is Lava.
Yeah.
It's a chase scene, but it is like the slowest, most awkward. You know, they're all just like stepping in like window frames and trying to make it through, you know, negotiate their way through this big junkyard. It's kind of awkward looking.
It looks fun.
When they're like jumping from bus top to bus top, that does look fun. I have to admit. Better have their tetanus shots.
Are these part of the Urax that are chasing them? Or is it just some other gang?
Unclear.
I just assume that everybody's out for themselves.
Yeah.
And when they see somebody, they assume you're coming into my territory. I'm going to kill you for your meat.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're a mutant gang, there are worse places to control than a junkyard because there's a lot of opportunity for housing, you know, sleep in a car.
Did they say how our other, we didn't name him, the other little guy that was assigned to Percy has that robotic, like, pincher hand?
It seems like he's a teacher. They say he's a teacher. He acts like a real wimp, you know, like he doesn't do much. I
don't know. He just jabbed a guy right there in the throat with his pincher hand.
I know. Well, that makes me think, like, did they do that, like, you know, ironically, like they gave this kind of pacifist guy this, like, murder weapon attached to the end of his arm? He also looks like the guy from City of the Living Dead. I forget his name, but, you know, he got the drill through his head and...
Right. Okay.
It kind of looks like the guy with the blow up doll.
His name was Bob too.
That's what I thought. I didn't want to summon up that, or I made it probably to the last 20 minutes and I was like, okay, there's no way they can sneak Bob in at this point because he pops up. He pops up. And seeing as how you chose the movie, I had my reservations, but did not see.
This is Bob free.
It's a Bob free movie.
Somebody on social media was just ranting about Bob, and I thought of how funny it was.
I know how they feel.
I had to share our disdain for Bob.
Some of the shame could go on the person that always dubs him too, because that voice is a lot of the reason that I hate him. So they managed to kill all of the junkyard gang.
Just to get out into the cityscape that's all ruins and then get chased down by some more Urax. Is that?
Yeah.
Urac. It's
yeah.
Let's not look into that.
Might as well move on because it's probably that's the one thing I don't want to do is and this has a very strong like I mean, they call it disinfestation.
So our guys immediately, to get away from the Urax, that's when they decide to jump back into the damn sewer.
It wasn't dank and moist enough out here. We need to get back to our comfort zone.
And that's when they get attacked by some more mutants. That's when they dump the French onion soup on him. I'm just going to say that's what it was.
Yes. I mean, it was steaming when there was steam coming off of it. They really put that guy through the fucking ringer. I mean, and I don't think he's getting paid much either. And they are really abusing their main character. That rat's dead for sure.
And traipsing through the sewer, immediately when I saw the rats, I'm thinking, this is going to be a plot point that's going to come back.
Yep.
And it does not take long for them to squish rats, to throw rats, to poke rats.
Yeah.
But now we've got the Italian Japanese
yes.
coming in, and they're not happy unless they're stepping on a rat.
Right, exactly. This is fun to them.
And are they killing them for food?
They're eating, a couple of people are eating them raw. So
just biting right into it.
Like, we've got fire. You're holding a torch. Cook it first. It'll probably taste better. In fact, make up a nice marinade.
Right.
Or marinade.
Could you use some of that French onion soup?
Yeah. If food scarcity is a thing, then they're going about this all wrong.
This is where our heroine.
Yeah. Heroine.
Our female.
Yeah. Okay. So this guy, this tall Japanese guy.
The Rat King? Is that who he was?
Well, it's not the Rat King. It seems like Rat King would have sounded better.
No, it's the Rat Eater King.
Yeah, okay, we get it. Okay. He's like, come on, guys, just call me the Rat King. You have to put the Eater in there.
So the Rat Eater King and his gang, they have Giara, which is the girl.
Oh, okay.
They also have Shorty with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got to talk about Shorty. You know I do.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
For the listeners, he looks a little like little person Mickey Dolenz, the drummer from the Monkees. So
he sounds like he is voiced by Nathan Lane.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, he does sound like.
But he looks like a miniature John Belushi.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm trying to think of who this actor is. I want to say he was in Twin Peaks, just like everybody is, but he's like the guy that owns the bar in Twin Peaks and then shrink him down to about 3 feet tall.
Okay, yeah.
You guys, look it up.
So they're just having dinner now with their new friends, the Rat Eater King, and they're actually cooking the rats now.
Thank God. It looks like a weenie roast.
They take the girl off to go have sex with her in the back room.
Evil George Harrison takes her into another part of the sewer.
But no, the Urax come in and just lay waste to the Rat Eater King, which the leader of this Urax gang, he looks like a Italian Dustin Hoffman.
It's almost like a comic reaction when he pulls that helmet off. It's like, oh my God, he looks like a grocer or like a...
Yeah, that's right.
He is not intimidating at all.
No.
It looks like somebody's uncle, Luigi.
He's here to do your taxes.
Yeah, exactly. He's an accountant.
And then we meet the leader of the Urax ?
Yeah, unclear.
This is like bald Italian Vince Vaughn.
A little bit, yeah. They definitely could not get a Donald Pleasance or that, if that makes any sense. This is the Donald Pleasance character.
Well, he is talking to our pincher guy hand. We haven't named him yet.
Yeah.
The Weasley guy with the pincher hand.
Yeah.
He's trying to get some information out of him. Well, they're in this room that has this weird like Picasso / Nagel painting on the wall.
So did you look at any of the trivia about that?
No.
I do have one piece of trivia about that.
Give it to me, because in the background, it looks like there's a picture of a cow baby birding food into a person's mouth.
Okay, I did not examine the painting or the mural that much. I'm sure you're right. It is Picasso. It is like a recreation of a Picasso painting.
Okay.
Also used in Children of Men. It is the exact same mural that is in like kind of a similar scene in not a similar scene, but it's sort of like the scene where he gets his mission.
Really?
They're all at like a big table, and that mural is behind them. And
that's amazing.
Wherever I read that from, I think it's kind of a nod to
it. Has
the
to
story
be.
Is so similar,
except in Children of Men. The girl is pregnant already, right?
Right.
And then this one is just like everybody wants her so they can have sex with her.
Yes. So
our Weasley guy just pokes Vince Vaughn's eyes out.
Yes.
This guy being a badass leader commander
yeah,
is like out of commission for most of the film.
Yeah. I mean, he really digs those claws in. I mean, it feels like an oversight on their part.
Oversight. Huh.
Oh, brother. So he has super strength. They do have him like chained to his chair. He breaks a link of the chain, and that's what allows him to...
Right. We're talking about the guy with the eye patch. I thought they said he was the strongest man in the world or something like that.
Oh, that's right. Am I like conflating those two things? Because
Maybe.
How does he even let him get within robot arm stabbing distance, you know?
I don't know. But I love the fact when he gets his replacement eyeballs implanted. Yeah. That's actually pretty damn cool.
Very reminiscent of, what was the class of 1999?
Right.
Seemed like a similar scene happened in that. Similar budget, too.
I'm at a scene now where I guess second in command of Vince Vaughn is this girl, which I couldn't place her. She looked so familiar, and I wanted to make fun of her so bad. I figured you might have something.
She also is in Warriors of the Wasteland and the other Bronx movie. I have a feeling that these were made very close to each other.
I get that.
Yeah.
Percy is like bolted down to this torture chamber thing.
Yeah.
And she comes over and kisses him. It's the weirdest kiss I've ever seen. Yes. Ever since like The Kindred, have I not seen a more uncomfortable kiss.
Wow. On a scale of, well, man, we'll do that later. I'm going to mark that down as uncomfortable kisses.
Right. Bingo card.
Unwanted kisses too. Again, our hero looks like he is not that into it.
Nope. She is rubbing her hands like through his thick fur on his chest.
Oh. Thank God we were spared the hot oil or whatever they usually like bathe these guys in.
Michael Sopke, Percy has like bedazzled pants on.
Does he? He has that like applique type things attached to them.
You don't see them? They look like little balls. Little fuzzy balls.
I see. Yeah, he's basically got like something you'd see in like a thrift store or something.
Yeah.
That your grandma did.
But now they have our wimpy teacher attached to the same kind of torture device thing. I don't understand. He's like struggling, like it's barely moving his arms out to the side and stretching his legs out like a good 6 inches tops.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is the most excruciating pain ever.
Right. They're waterboarding him or something.
Is this supposed to be like one of those stretching? What do they call that stretching?
You used to have one of those.
Right. You're talking about an inversion table.
Yeah. It's like, it's something to like help with your posture and your back and stuff.
That's what I think. He's just got some back problems.
So they should be luxuriating in that.
When Percy comes in and uses that device to break his own chains, he does this super unnecessary jump over our teacher.
Yeah, just to say he can, or just to show him like maybe it's a show of feat of strength or something.
It's hilarious.
His wig is so crazy, and that headband is the only thing that is even vaguely like keeping it on. Again, that jacket could be so cool.
I'm digging it.
There was another guy that looked like his jacket was made out of like a pool, like lounge chair kind of woven thing. I kind of like that too.
Michael Sopke tells the chick,
yeah, she's like a dominatrix. She kind of plays the same character in a couple of those other movies. She's like sort of a sadistic kind of she kind of gets off on like torturing people and stuff. You get I mean, I would hate it if I'm just making all that up, but seems to be what's going on. And you said the blonde chick again. Giara is her name, so we'll refer to her as Giara from now on.
Giara.
Is she supposed to be the one that they're looking for, or did she just get kind of like swept up in the...
She got swept up and he decided to save her.
Okay,
so in order to do that, say, hey, you don't kill her because she's the only fertile girl. They ran a test on her and said, no, she's not fertile. Why are they trying to save her?
Because she'd be having the Rat Eater King's baby in that case. You would think. Let's make more of that guy. I mean, I'm not on the Urax side, but that guy. So if it's not her in the movie, who is the...
We don't see her until near the end. She's the girl that's like Sleeping Beauty. That's what Shorty says.
Oh, right. She's in like a
cryo chamber. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is open, isn't it?
She's encased in a glass tube.
Well, you can see her nipples. That's all I know.
They're just chasing our team throughout this complex because now it looks like they're in a refinery or a beer brewing garden. I don't know exactly.
I have information about this too.
All right.
Italian yogurt factory. Okay. I am not making that up. It is a yogurt factory. It does look kind of cool if you didn't know what all those vats and things were for. It does look kind of futuristic.
But I love this. Our teacher, so they're running down a corridor trying to get away, and he decides to stay because he's been shot or something. He's just trying to hold them back so Percy and the girl can get away.
Right.
He's hiding around the side, and when he pops out to shoot them, he yells bastard, and then ducks back and turns around and says bastard and shoots again. And
he says it like 3 times. It's his catchphrase. He's trying to make a brand for himself.
I want his face on a t-shirt that just says bastards. I'd buy that.
I don't want that guy's face on any of the clothing that I'm wearing.
No?
No. Well, maybe. Yeah, so now we're at the kind of, again, Italian Donald Pleasance. He's finally getting a new eye. Inexplicably, they have put a bunch of shaved soap on his face. I think it's to make it seem like he's been in a storage freezer.
I dig it. That's kind of fun to look at.
Yep.
The face looks more fake than the eye does.
For sure. Also, the surgery would be going a lot better if those were actual instruments behind him and not just stickers on a cardboard box. I feel like if the equipment was not just a bunch of stickers and LED lights. What does all that shit do? It's just a bunch of buttons. This button makes this other button
I want to know, where did they get these eyeballs from?
I feel like we're in a parts the Clonus horror type thing where the rich can afford to... I feel that's pretty standard for 20 years after the apocalypse.
All right. Where's my spare leg?
Oh, it's in the back of the closet. I moved it when your sister stayed over for a couple of weeks. I like the Urax outfits. There's 3 or 4 different movies. I know we've already said that, but it seems like they are in a completely different movie. But again, in all of these post-apocalyptic movies, the fascists, the Nazis or whatever, they're all in uniform, of course, and all the uniforms are pretty fucking badass, if you ask me.
So they're escaping this complex, being chased by the Urax.
Yep.
When our guy, the strongest man in the world, Richard Mulligan, Italian Mulligan, when he does that springboard front flip...
Yes.
Dude.
Is that the actor doing that?
I couldn't tell, but it was pretty good. I actually read that he's done stunts in several other movies. I think he has 5 or 6 credits in stunts.
He's quite old. I mean, I would put him at mid-50s, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So good on him. He's still flipping around and kicking guys.
They climb the wall to get out of this complex, and there's Shorty immediately saying, "Come with me, guys." I know the way. They jump over that wall. They climb over the wall. But you notice the Urax just kind of open the gate and walk through?
Yeah, you dumbasses. It was open the whole time. They just want to make it look cool.
Wasn't even slightly locked.
Yeah, I saw a Super Richard Mulligan. Actually, it's more like Pirate Richard Mulligan, if that helps you.
What would that sound like?
I can't do a good Richard Mulligan.
Okay. We'll work on that.
It's sort of a Christopher Lloyd from Taxi a little bit.
Right, yeah.
But I'm not going to attempt that here.
But they immediately escape to the sewer. Again, that's their go-to.
Yeah, can't get those guys out of the sewer.
They end up, I guess, getting upon now a mutant little person village.
Oh, brother. Also, about the sewer thing, I guess you get production value because it does. They probably didn't have to do much, you know. It's just a sewer. Yep. That's what we're supposed to be imagining here. I just can't imagine having like an expensive camera like in a sewer where there is waterfalls and just. Even if this is not an active, you know, maybe this is like a storm sewer rather than like a, wastewater sewer, which I assume are two different things. Even that's gross. You know what I mean?
Oh, I get it.
But I mean, it gives us a chance to get that girl's t-shirt wet. So at least there's that. Thanks, Italy.
I love this when they finally get to the little person village and both the girl and Percy have been stunned by the ray guns.
They got zapped.
And he wakes up in the little person village and immediately he's like, oh, where's the girl? And if you look in the wide shot, she's like right next to him.
Right. Yeah.
His feet are in her chest.
Yeah, they're in contact with each other. And he's asking where she is.
Yeah.
He's not asking where the girl is, right?
But Shorty knows where the girl is. For some reason, Shorty here used to work for the professor.
He's an experiment that's gone wrong.
Maybe. He was the Igor.
Yeah.
But the professor's daughter is the one that's fertile and has been placed in cryogenics since she was born.
Well, I mean, she appears to be like 20.
Now, do you age while you're in cryo?
Oh, I see what you're saying. She wasn't just frozen.
Right.
She's like in a coma.
I was hoping you'd had answers to.
No, I don't. Okay. But I think you're right. It is sort of I think Sleeping Beauty is kind of what they were going for.
He says that. Shorty says that as like, oh, she's Sleeping Beauty. She's beautiful. And, we're halfway in through this movie and talking about this bizarre shit. And the bizarre shit hasn't happened yet.
Oh, I know. I keep on thinking like, when is George Eastman going to pop out? Because I literally threw my pen down and just paused it and went and got a drink.
It's like, I'm going to need a stiff one to get through this.
I better brace myself for whatever's about to happen.
And it does not fail to deliver.
No, it doesn't. He really is.
He's selling that makeup. We're not even there, but some of his facial expressions, oh my God, had me laughing so hard.
Really mugging. He really was concerned that he wasn't going to be, that makeup was covering him up and he wasn't going to be able to
show his chops.
Yep. Hey, do you want to take a little break?
I was getting ready to ask you the same thing.
Hey, freaksters and freakettes. It's Tim from the Moratorium. Do you like the sweet sounds of our witty banter in your ears every week? Well, head on over to our Patreon, and for only $3 a month, you can get even more. In the director's cuts of our movie episodes. On average, that's 20 minutes more of our wisecracking, jive-talking, and lip-flapping laughter straight to your earholes. Go to themoratorium.com and click on our Patreon link, and you'll find 5 awesome tiers with tons of goodies. You can also find our Teespring link on the website for even more awesome merch. Thank you for your support. Now on with the show.
Well, you can say it now if you want to.
All right, we'll say it now. That the main leather-bound chick, you just named her Fellacia.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's too
offensive to women in general.
Maybe.
I'm going to get offensive here in a little bit, probably. And you're not going to.
Oh, God.
I'm not going to be able to stop me. Okay.
Yes. And if you're not going to do it, I think you're the only person that could.
Since we're stopped here at this moment, and I'm going to tease here, I've got to take you down a tangent because I got to talk about Romano Pupo.
Pupo, I think.
Pupo? You're not calling Pupo?
I mean...
Romano Pupo, and he's our main guy. He's amazing, Richard Mulligan here. And I'll tease right now to our audience that this is going to be part of the uncut audio. So if you want to hear what I have to say, you might want to head over to our Patreon and pay us a little visit, and you can get the uncut versions of our movie
Very good
podcasts. So with that, let's talk about Romano Pupo.
Let's do it.
All right, let's get back to this
Back to the
film.
movie.
Because we're just hanging out with the little people in the little people cave.
Yep. Just like in Lord of the Rings.
With little mini-me Belushi.
Sure.
Not going to take on that one?
Nope.
Okay.
Not going to touch that one. So, and they run afoul of it's basically like the Geico cavemen, don't you think? Kind of a little bit. Is that what they look like?
Well, they're just hanging out in the cave, and I guess the Uraks are coming through with some loudspeakers playing a frequency that makes you shit your pants or something.
Yes, they're playing the brown note. This is the funniest thing. I was laughing at this.
Percy reaches over and pretends that he has some wax on a rock and puts it on his ears and says, "Hey, you need to put this wax in your ears."
Yeah.
It's total imaginary.
Yeah. Super Richard Mulligan jumps up and grabs nothing.
And shoves it in Mini-Me's ears. Yeah.
Yes. He's like eating a Alka-Seltzer because he's kind of foaming at the mouth. That was really cracking me up. I was like, oh my God. And for the camera to spend so much time to be like, this is what they're, just work with us here. They're actually grabbing something and put it in their ears. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing there. I mean,
they come out into, they get outside and escape. And Percy actually reaches up and whispers, "It's safe. You can pull out the wax now."
Oh, thank you.
They take imaginary things out of their ears.
Just to draw more attention to it. Yeah. Seems like they could have picked something easier. I mean, I get it. They didn't want to have to film this big. They're in kind of an enclosed space, and we got to scare these guys out of there somehow. So.
Right. And get rid of all the other little people so there can only be one.
When our main character grabs his ears and screams, he really does look like Axl Rose a little bit. I mean, the jacket helps, but...
I absolutely love when Italian Stephen Lang picks up our little guy, our Mini-Me Belushi over his shoulders and just carries him off.
He's a bag of dog food or something. Yeah, that's funny. They should just make a handle for that little guy so it's easier to carry. Put him in a backpack. That day on set had to be depressing, I think.
But they make it to this weird underground layer that has a mannequin that is rocking a bassinet with another mannequin doll. Yeah. It looked like Tourist Trap.
Exactly.
It was like straight out of Tourist Trap.
And it makes Percy mad. He like grabs that arm and tears it off. I guess he is upset that, I mean, I don't want to look at them either. I think it's creepy.
He looks very upset.
Yeah. I guess he just thought he was going to finally get to the girl so he could go home, but nope.
Or have sex.
They
drop a huge net on him, and then a guy like gets roped in and just flies in like Italian Cirque du Soleil.
It looks like a community theater.
Yep, I buy that. And then the Uraks come in and take one shot and blow that monkey man's face off.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Yeah, he flies down on a rope and tries to rape her through a net, which I can't imagine a more difficult thing to try to do. But it's not working for him. And they just show up, shoot his face off. Like his face disappears in a red splat.
It's beautiful.
It was very cool.
And then they fight the Urex. And another time, these Urex, they are horrible fighters.
Yeah, they're kind of like stormtrooper level bad guys.
They are so easily beat up. And then George Eastman just pops out of nowhere.
I know, he does. He does come from like the wings and be like, hello, I'm here too now.
He just slices Italian Dustin Hoffman in the midsection.
Yep.
And saves the day.
Yep.
And now we meet I can only say Italian monkey people.
Yes,
Italian monkey gang.
I think that, that seems accurate. Also, we missed the Stephen Lang guy is the one that stabs that guy under his codpiece, like into his testicles. I was like, oh boy.
George Eastman is 6'6".
Yeah.
And they glued so much hair on his face. And now if you look at it, his billowy blouse that he's wearing is ripped at the arm. You can see the hair, the tufts of hair from his arm sticking out.
Just bad monkey hair.
But he has no hair on his right hand.
It's very interesting. This whole scene looks like if they were making fun of the Geico cavemen on like Saturday Night Live or something, It's not extensive like makeup, but it's you get the idea.
So here comes the major plot point. I didn't catch it the first time I watched it. I caught it just before we started the podcast.
I can't wait.
That George Eastman, when he comes in and he learns of this girl who is fertile, he said, now there are two of us, saying that he is also uncontaminated.
He looks contaminated.
He looks very contaminated, but he is destined to perpetuate the human race by having sex with Sleeping Beauty. Did you get that the first time you watched it?
No, I did not. I mean, only that, yes, he wants to have sex with women.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. They're eating now. It looks very gross. Oh. There are two... I mean, they had to have gotten those costumes from Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
There are two full-on monkey people eating out of a bowl.
Hastily applied prosthetics.
Yeah. But I mean, more so than like George Eastman and stuff. Like they have the like snout, like the kind of looks like a coconut, kind of mouth. I don't know why. It's grossing me out watching them eat with their hands out of those.
The sanitary conditions.
Ugh. This scene, I wondered why there is what looks like a girl in a giant curly wig, kind of in the shadows, and you get up closer and it's just a black guy with a blonde wig on. I was like, whoa,
great.
Whoa, that's not what I expected to see.
You're right. This is like they were at a community theater and took it over for their home and then just found all of the costumes befitting of their natural being.
Yep.
Right.
The top is a wizard and the bottom is like a, breeches of a Shakespeare character or something. Mm-hmm. One guy looks like he has a big gong on his belly.
But Percy ends up fighting for his girl's love.
Yeah.
Right. So he's one monkey man decided he wanted to have sex with her and they decided to duke it out like men.
Yeah.
Only now, after Percy wins, that the girl comes up and lays one on him, and immediately they're like, all right, well, let's have sex right here in front of all these monkey men.
Yeah.
They waste no time.
No, they don't.
They are making out no less than 10 foot away from the rest of the group.
Yeah, and no less than 10 minutes after they had that previous scene. Like, they're watching you. And, I mean, they're monkeys. They're probably, doing what they do best.
So George Eastman's trying to fight Percy because he believes that he lied to him about the girl who was fertile.
The other.
Yeah, that he was trying to get with the fertile chick, and no, George Eastman's the only one that can get with the fertile chick because he's the uncontaminated.
Basically, because he said so.
Right. Yeah.
We have
you have no proof whatsoever.
Yeah.
Little Belushi here stops the fight to say, no, I know where this girl lives. Why didn't you say this from the beginning?
Oh, man. I had to do a lap around the house when all this started happening because I was like, I can't. I don't want to pay attention to the plot, but I also don't want to be like kind of lost on what they're doing, but I just don't have the energy for it right now.
There is so much going on. This movie is exhausting.
It is. They've only traveled like
2 blocks.
Yeah.
The whole thing's been filmed in a 2-block radius.
Yep.
The show of strength between our guy and George Eastman.
Yeah.
They're trying to one-up each other of who's the strongest.
Yeah.
They find the professor.
Yeah. He's the professor because he's got a bunch of like computers, but they also don't have power, so I don't know how.
Well, how is she kept in cryogenic state
I guess
if there is no power?
You know what?
Yeah, don't even think about it.
She's in like a bug tent, when they like spray, like fumigate a place.
But this was just right around the corner from the Little People village.
Yeah.
So were the Little People working for the professor? So is this an Oompa Loompa?
Yeah, he's like a Willy Wonka character.
Yeah.
He created these, why is it always small? Like Phantasm. It seems like you could get more done. I'm not saying like, see, this is why I didn't want to just get stuck in this morass of, damn it,
because
Tim.
You make yourself look like morass.
Yeah, it's true. Good one. It really zinged me.
I love that George Eastman pulls out a wad of dynamite from his ass.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of M80s taped together. And it blows like a vault door off.
Yeah.
Has Richard Mulligan or Super Richard Mulligan always been wearing that little like top piece of lederhosen? He's got like a little leather. It's like my wife has like a little wallet where she keeps like her credit cards and stuff with like straps on it.
It's very well secured to his being.
I think it's to help his posture.
So the professor's dead. They find the chick.
How did the professor die?
Just natural causes, I can only assume.
Oh, okay.
Little Belushi says that they can get out of there because there is, you would think a space shuttle to get them out. No, there's a station wagon.
Yeah, exactly.
That can get them out of this.
Yes, his iconic car, like Mad Max had the V8 Interceptor. And although once they do get in it and start off, I was like, I might drive one of those. If it was kind of hopped up, if it had like a big engine in it. And it's like the size of a boat.
Yeah.
Plenty of seating.
When George Eastman sees the Sleeping Beauty girl, he is so enamored, but this girl is going to have my children. Yeah. Because they send Percy and... Damn it, I keep losing
Super Richard Mulligan?
Yeah, Super Richard Mulligan and Percy go to get some trash out of the junkyard to put on the car to make it more Mad Maxian.
Yeah. They don't have like a welder or anything, but...
They chain these pieces to the car.
Yeah. Really look just like big like mattresses or, those thin like fold up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you can see it when Super Mulligan comes in carrying one of those big, heavy steel pieces. He bumps the other one, and it's just a foam piece. It just kind of jiggles in place. Yeah.
It's very bouncy and bendy.
When they leave to go get the stuff out of the junkyard, when you start seeing George Eastman eye this girl.
Oh, yeah.
Just going to rape this comatose girl.
Yeah.
Like, it is his destiny.
Yeah, that's how he justifies it. It's like, no, you're just a fucking creep.
He says something like, the vessel that is going to hold my seed. It's disgusting.
He slides like kind of she's got like kind of a sneeze guard around her. When he slides that back, I do see that his right hand is not a...
Mm-hmm.
I love it when they just kind of throw her back into the... let's just say they're jiggling her around when they're kind of, manipulating that little bed.
I swear, when he gets back in the way back of the station wagon, I think he is just constantly humping her.
Yeah, molesting her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Give any of the women in this movie a bra.
Yes.
And some conditioner.
When our chick sticks around to watch over our sleeping beauty,
not doing a great job.
George Eastman comes in behind her. Those eyes he's making before he gives her the hammer to the back of the head.
Yeah, he bonks her basically.
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Yeah. I think he was afraid that the makeup was going to like completely obscure his features. So he had to make his eyes as wide as possible. And then they play the game like, no, go ahead and get in. Go ahead. We're getting ready to leave. Get in. Then they just like peel out. No, I was just joking that time. I just joking. Seriously, get in. We got to get going. He's like, ooh, hate you guys.
He did kind of run after him like, guys. We failed to mention that little Belushi creates a diversion to try to let Percy get away with Super Mulligan.
Yeah, what was
when they're in the graveyard? But he impales himself like on a manifold or something just to keep himself from getting questioned. He couldn't just keep his mouth shut.
He chose suicide over having to talk to those guys.
I guess.
Why didn't he just go with them?
I don't know.
Believe me, there's room in there. He could even fit in there with George Eastman. So now they are just fully ripping off Escape from New York by having this tunnel that they have to negotiate through these. They kind of look like old incense burners. Mm-hmm. But I think we're meant to believe they're bombs.
Yes.
Or like mines.
It made me think of when we used to play Driver on PS2.
Yes, and you have to go
That's
through.
Exactly what, yeah.
Yep.
With all of this crap that's loaded onto this station wagon, though, and it still is like a super vehicle. I mean, this car is like crashing through barricades and knocking over mannequins that are supposed to be some of the Urax.
yeah, it shows that they're mannequins because George Eastman throws his scimitar or whatever it is.
Oh
I must have missed that because I did not
funny.
Did not see that he like decapitates like 6 guys.
6 of them with one throw of his sword. It just spins around and decapitates all of them.
Amazing. I wish I could turn it up a little bit to hear the sound effect too, because I know it was going, you know, I had to put something in there. He gets shot or sits on like Taco Bell fire sauce or something. We'll never know.
I don't exactly know what happened to him.
Well, the thing about the armor is they put it everywhere where they don't need it. Like there is one across the hood, but then there's also one on the roof.
On the very top of the car, yeah.
The angle's all wrong. And then when they drove past those guys, it left them free to just shoot everybody.
Yep.
Luckily, they're horrible shots.
But then they go up on a group of guys. They have this huge space-age gun.
I could not tell what that was.
It kind of looks like Luke's.
Yeah, like a speeder, like a land speeder or something.
Yeah. But it's shooting a laser out that somehow fries. Is that where George Eastman gets fried? No, there's some sort of booby trap that electrifies the car right after they're trying to escape this tunnel.
Yeah. Oh, right. There's that? It's like a net. I don't think that big gun thing does that. There's like
it doesn't. Yeah.
They show like this really cheap kind of laser effect that's like a net at the end of the tunnel.
And it just fries George Eastman. They look back at him and he's just a smoldering skull.
Yeah.
Is all that's left of him.
And are they implying that he's so hairy that he caught fire? Or why is no one else affected by that?
Well, Percy says something about suspecting Super Mulligan, thinking that, well, he should have been destroyed then too.
Right. He kind of confronts him about that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make any sense because in that...
Not at all.
That should have fried him and the girl too, if you go by that rationale. I guess he doesn't trust robots, or I don't know.
But riddle me this. So when Felicia just shows up to see that Italian Vince Vaughn has gotten his new eyeballs and they've taken, and she immediately just kills him.
Yeah, shoots him.
I mean, he's the super bad guy.
Yeah.
She shoots him and kills him. I didn't understand that exchange.
I didn't either.
Is she just taking over the whole operation?
Yeah, maybe, but either I don't think he gave her any information in that scene. So it had to have been just, her being kind of sadistic and like wanting him to know that she's the one that killed him or something. I mean, that would have been cool if that had been explained in the slightest. All right. So robot knife fight. Super Mulligan
and Percy have it out. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. There's some real like Mitchell fighting, Merlin Olsen activity.
I love the kicks to the midsection.
Yeah.
That always throw people back when you're like...
I mean, come on. I'm watching you, and the flippy is helping the flipper.
Yes.
But we haven't talked about Super Mulligan's little gadget, his little ball, like... It looks like the thing that you have for, like, if you have to, like, badge into work. If you have, like, a...
you got a lanyard?
Yeah, lanyard, exactly. Like a retractable lanyard. But it's got, like, those kinetic balls from all the movies about lawyers from the 80s. And that's the type of thing that I like in these movies, is, like, them, having those, like, slightly futuristic,
He used him in several scenes, spinning him above his head.
Yeah, he kind of whips him around his head.
He strangled somebody out, but they retract to this little device in his wrist.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep. I like that. I mean, it looks really fakey.
At the very beginning, there was a spiky bracelet thing that the guy
in the junkyard had it. I meant to say something about that. Yeah, that was pretty cool because the effect was that it did kind of spring forward. Yeah. It actually looked like it might, out of all the crappy weapons in this movie, it looked like it might have actually done some damage. So he kills, kind of conks Richard Mulligan on the head, exposing his, Radio Shack brain.
Then also exposes his robotic eye.
Yeah. That seems...
Is that really necessary?
No, I don't think so. I think the special effects guy was like, well, I've got this laying around from when we killed the bald guy. So
remember when you colored those Easter eggs, those little plastic... I can use that.
Yeah, I saved a bunch of those. Never throw anything away for those types. You just keep it in a box somewhere.
I'm watching Percy kiss her for the last time before she dies. Because
why does...
she gets stabbed by
Super Mulligan? Yeah. Okay, I must have missed something because why has he betrayed them? It only seems like he did that because Percy provoked him a little bit. So was he going to steal the woman at the end, or what was his game?
I am not sure. He was working for the Urax the entire time.
I think there's probably something. Unfortunately, the way we had to watch this movie, there is a Blu-ray release of this.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of different ones, actually, I think. But the two versions that I am able to watch, neither one of them have subtitles. Damn it. That would have been very helpful.
So the end of the movie basically just comes in for a big exploitation thing with the president. With Mr. Sickly President.
It looks like he needs some Pepto or something.
Oh.
Not doing good.
He may be having gallbladder problems.
Oh, the heartbreak of diarrhea. Diarrhea is like a storm raging inside you.
He's selling it, though. With every step, he's like, please don't shit myself.
I shouldn't have had that rat burger for breakfast. It's repeating on me. He's the Cameron Mitchell, I think we can agree, of this movie.
Okay. So basically, this is all just exposition talking about the setting up that this girl is now going to be what perpetuates the human race, so everybody's going to be having sex with her?
Yeah, that's why all the guards are like smiling, because they're like,
next. Now, I think he did say something. They were trying to harvest her eggs.
ugh.
It wasn't necessarily, he's like, she's still got 50,000 eggs left in her.
What? I did not look that up, but I was like, is that even these numbers that he's throwing out? That seems...
Well, I'm no mathematician.
Okay, now wait a minute. Hold on.
I know exactly what you're going to talk about.
Do you? Okay, I don't know that you do, because when they just panned past these guys... So there's guys just doing things in the background,
arbitrary
kind of like
henchmen.
Yes, kind of like a Lobot in Star Wars. You know, he's just the bald guy with like Bo's headset on. There are guys with what can only be described as like futuristic clown shoes, and they're
it's the biggest shoes ever. They're standing duck-footed because they can't get close enough
reach
to
the
counter.
controls. And they're like shuffling back and forth a little bit, like they choreographed it. That was very odd and distracting at the end of the movie. Okay, is that what you thought I was going to say?
Exactly what I was thinking.
I'm so glad.
I have 2 pages of notes just on these shoes.
They're like your sister's moon boots, and then they wrapped them in like aluminum foil or something.
So what we didn't get out of the exposition with the president is that this girl is starting to wake up from her stasis.
Yeah.
Not knowing that she has been raped probably multiple times by George Eastman.
Oh.
Is now with child.
Yeah.
And they want Percy to explain the world to her as it exists now.
I mean, I'm watching this without sound on, and that guy, there's like a kind of Italian Cleavon Little that comes in. I'm sorry, but and kind of slaps him on the back, and he kind of looks like, "Hey, man, you want a shot at her? We're all done in here." The way he slaps him on the back, it's like, "Hey, buddy, what are you all about?"
Oh, have you not been up in that yet?
Oh, man.
Come on with me.
All right. Now we got to get this under control.
And it would have been great if that was Bobby Rose. He's starting to pimp her out already.
We're already doing like, fantasy football, apocalyptic Italian movies. Who do you want in your post-apocalyptic Italian? That's hard to say, all those words.
So this girl, though, who played the princess, I guess we could call her. Who's been asleep
this entire time.
I don't know who she is.
No, I don't either. The director's daughter, maybe? Like she just begged him to be in the movie?
I could not find a credit for her.
Yeah, it's hard when she doesn't have a profile picture.
Or a line in the film.
Or any dialogue. There's a couple of girls in this movie. It's basically like she is known for this movie, the movie that you're talking about. And that's it, you know?
Oh, so this is pretty interesting. So Angelo Ragusa, he plays Flamethrower Mercenary.
Okay. Man, the luckiest boy in the world.
Yeah, he is a stunt guy. He was in Zombie Holocaust.
Oh, okay.
And Contamination that I watched recently.
Oh.
Yeah. Thor the Conqueror. He plays cunt. And
Tim, please.
His name in Thor the Conqueror is Cunt, Thor's father.
Somebody's having fun. That cannot be.
It's spelled K-U-N-T, but it's cunt. I'm no frenetic expert.
You can't.
Frenetic or phonetic?
I think frenetic is like measuring the bumps on your head to see why you're sick. Raguso? Is that what you said his name was?
Angelo Raguso.
Angelo Raguso, one of the good dead ones, played Flamethrower Mercenary.
Awesome. I can't wait to see more of these movies.
God, these Italian movies of this era, they just were trying everything. Balls to the wall. No
remorse on rats.
Exactly. I mean, they didn't really treat the people very well either.
They are not beholden to the script.
No. script, if anything, that's holding them back.
Yeah. Seriously, though, this movie had so much action in it.
It had a lot of good stuff.
And I am surprised because, blindly picking it, I'm going to get some turds every now and then.
Yeah, sure.
It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
But this one, I think, was a home run.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty awesome. I mean, there are several movies that are basically the exact same thing. And, man, I would love for us to watch one with Fred Williamson in it. Because, like I said, he's in a bunch of these. And every time he shows up, you're just like, oh, my God, what is this guy going to fucking do now? Because Warriors of the Wasteland is pretty good. It actually has a lot of the same characters, the same actors in this. It does have Bob in it, but,
Does Bob die in it?
Oh, my God. No. If he does, it's off camera. I like to think that he does, but...
In every film.
In every film.
He's not even in this film, but I just pretend that off camera he's being killed and tortured.
Sounds like Mr. Bill.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Yep. Really good. Thank you, Italy. You've done it again.
Who knows how long it's going to take us to get back to Italy, but we will be back here soon.
For sure.
I think you mentioned this before. This is our favorite subgenre.
Yeah.
If you could say that Italian knockoffs is a subgenre of our movies.
Yeah.
This is a fun place to be.
Right.
And I will place a link up to the archive.org so at least everybody can see it. If you want to spend a few bucks, though, and get the Blu-ray, I recommend it.
Yeah. I was looking on Amazon, just kind of shopping around, and it is part of one of those, multiple movies.
Here's one with post-apocalyptic triple feature.
Yeah, okay.
2019, After the Fall of New York. 1990, The Bronx Warriors. And The New Barbarians.
Yes. Now, there are, because I'm looking at a different one that, oddly enough, it has the same movies, but a couple of them are their alternate titles, so it's a little confusing. But yeah, New Barbarians is the alternate title for Warriors of the Wasteland, I believe.
Okay. Actually, right underneath that, it says Warriors of the Wasteland.
Yep.
Under The New Barbarian, so you are correct.
Yeah. And like Escape from the Bronx, I know that one as Escape 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just said, eventually we'll be back in Italy again, but there's so many like subgenres that they do, and Cannibal is, one of the first ones that I think of. And I don't know that we've come across that. Like, there is cannibalism in a couple of the movies that we've done, but,
and I inducted the Mountain of the Cannibal God.
Yes, right. Yeah.
Which was directed by Sergio Martino, the same guy who did this.
Right. Gotcha.
That's why I knew his name. So,
yeah. That's the one with Stacy Keach.
And Ursula Andress. If you wanted to see Ursula Andress get molested by some native guys.
Did you say if you wanted to see that? Okay. Because I think everybody would.
And we should tell our audience, run out and go see these films because they are fun.
Just look on Amazon and get one of those collections because really, like, do you want to see this in Blu-ray? I mean, I would much rather watch like the kind of grainy. It just feels like you should be watching it on a VHS tape.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, they've got a bunch of those collections. I mean, you could, for $20, you could see some pretty good stuff.
Anyway, let's wrap this up. Another venture into Italian territory. I'm pretty sure probably our next movie, we're going to get back to American cinema. Yeah, I don't know where you're going to take me. Do you have any idea, Jason?
I don't right now. I do not. I'm going to have to take a look at the cast again just to see where I can take us.
It's bound to be good. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find us?
You can find us at themoratorium.com.
.com.
You can buy shirts, cod pieces. What else do we have?
And you may not have seen that I actually made a a couple of mugs yesterday.
Ooh, I didn't realize mugs were
and I put those up
option.
on Teespring. Yeah, they just became available. So you've got your normal looking Arctic tumbler, if you want to call it, the metal cup with
a
the lid.
Yeti type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Yeti cup. And there's also kind of a jug, like a water jug thing.
Right. Cool.
That I put Podcat on that. And also you can now get that same design on a neck gaiter.
Oh, cool.
So if you'd like to hear more of us, like the teased bit that I will be cutting out of this episode, go straight over to our Patreon.
Now, do it.
Oh, damn.
Sorry.
I peed myself there.
I'm sorry. I got excited.
Well, I do have to go. I mean, it's going to happen anyway.
So it wasn't all me.
Right. For only $3 a month, you can get the director's cuts of our movie episodes.
Wow.
And that's an average of 20 minutes or more that I cut out of every one of our movie episodes just for you. Exclusive content. Go over and get a piece of that.
Get a big buttery piece of it.
I will be posting pictures real soon. You can see our Patreon rewards. So I have membership cards, stickers, VHS night lights. If you want to give us $50 a month, I will personally make you a horse head bookend. Yes, I do have one of those made up. It's sitting on my desk. And I know it belongs to you, Jason, but I'm gonna offer it up right now. If anybody wants to go over to our Patreon and sign up for our executive producer credit, I will give you all the above, including a t-shirt.
Wow.
There's some good stuff out there. I don't expect you to give us $50 a month, but if you want to give us $3 a month, we'll start giving it right back to you.
3 smackers.
Not bad.
3 clams.
All right. Well, let's wrap this bitch up. Jason, do you have anything else to offer?
I do not.
Check us out on themoratorium.com. Check us out on social media. The Facebook group is still growing.
Very nice.
Looking good. Thank you again, Juggalos. All right.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
You've been listening to The Moratorium, an MT Cornfield production. We hate to leave the batshit crazy land of Italian cinema, but it's time to head back to the States. Next week, Jason and I try to compose ourselves for the Yarn Wall, where it's always a good time. If you have any movie suggestions, or just want to tell us how much we really suck, you can contact us at moviemoratorium@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and long live VHS.
Thank you, Italy. You've done it again.